Ramey, Mike Wilson, then Troy.
Record if I, told you before the game that Victor's going for 29 and Fulkerson goes for 19 tonight. I mean, what happened to those two guys? What got into them?
You know what, Grant? Again, the last couple of days of practice, we were short guys, and we just, again, individually keep talking to guys about, hey, you got to get yourself involved. We can only do so much from a coaching staff standpoint, and our offense since Fulky's been here hasn't changed a whole lot different. And if it has changed some, it's because we've added to take advantage of some other talent. But otherwise, his position really hasn't changed that much. And we just said, hey, you're going to have to do it. I thought he did the best job of running tonight that he's done all year. He really ran the floor hard. And I still think he's got to play quicker in the post. He's wanting to, catch it and spin, do this. He's not going to get time to do that unless he really does his work early. But he and VJ, I think the last 2 days, Santi wasn't able to practice, and so those three guys worked together. And I thought it probably helped VJ as much as any. Just the last 2 days, really playing the point and understanding what we wanted him to do, and I thought he really did a good job with it.
Rick, what were the last few days like between the positive test becoming a false positive, having guys out and preparing without guys, then having them back? I mean, what were the last 3 days like?
Well, we knew regardless of whatever the test results came back that, we had to play by rule, because we knew that, we kind of 2 days ago knew that Josiah wasn't going to be able to play. And so we went about it without thinking it. I mean, Santi hasn't practiced. He didn't practice until the shoot around today. We didn't really do anything that much today. What?
Can't name guys.
Oh, I can't name guys. But anyway, we had three guys that didn't get to practice. And so we just went about practice with the guys that we had, trying to do some different things. We obviously knew that we were going to get Ticket in the game tonight. We were going to get Olivier if we could. But we just decided whatever we got to go play. And that's how we went about practice the last couple of days.
Then what's Josiah's status moving forward, and how's he feeling?
I think okay. We think he'll be back Saturday. We'll know more, but we think he will be.
Rick, you mentioned Victor playing the point guard. I guess, how much do you think his offensive aggressiveness kind of helps him at that position? What else do you like about him at that position?
Well, sometimes when a player stops thinking about making shots and just playing, getting involved, let the ball spin around, get back to him some, and just get the offense going and try to get lost defensively, it just happens for you. And he had a few defensive breakdowns tonight, a big one out of a timeout that when I took him out, and I think he was tired a little bit. But, players go through the ups and downs. I think we've seen more of that this year. I think there's a lot of inconsistency for a lot of different reasons. I mean, there's nothing normal that any of us are doing, because I can only imagine what South Carolina's gone through here the last couple of days and what they went through back earlier in the year. It's one of those years where there's just no consistency with a lot of things, and I think in some ways it rubs off on players.
Wes, Ben McKee, and Rob Lewis.
Rick, I know that maybe at times this year, VJ's shots haven't been exactly the ones that you've wanted, but in the last game, I think he only took 2 or 3. How important was it for him to go back out there and shoot? I mean, I know when guys are struggling, sometimes it's hard, but how important is it to keep shooting?
All we really ask these guys to do is do what you do and do it at a high level, and don't think you got to do more than you need to do. Just trust each other, play with each other, and just play to your strengths. Don't try to overdo it, understand the game, and which I think he and Keon and Jaden at times, even Santi, they've got to adjust to changing defenses throughout the game, changing team to team, how everybody's going to play you a little bit different. But overall, I've throughout many years of coaching, I've seen guys go through periods like this through the year. Very few of them can maintain it all the way through. But like I told them tonight after the game, now is the time we got to try to get consistent. Let's see if we can do it, and on both ends. And we're getting down towards the end of the regular season, so we just need to see, if we can just get consistent.
Coach, South Carolina started 7 of 9 from 3 and finished 10 of 24. Just what was kind of the difference there between first half and second half with South Carolina from the three-point line?
Well, scouting report is some of it, but off of our scouting report, we gave up 3 in the first early parts of the game where we did not execute our scouting report, and it was plain and simple. And they made it, and those guys are capable of making. We tell our guys all the time, we're going to play some drive first guys, but even that, anybody at this level can make a shot. And we weren't closing out with a hand up and just letting guys stand out there like they were playing horse. And they took the shot. So our ball pressure wasn't very good early in the game. I thought they were very comfortable on the offensive end doing what they were doing. Second half, I thought we did a little bit better job guarding the ball, just trying to let them fill us a little bit more. And they were down some guys. I mean, no doubt fatigue can set in, but they were down 2 key guys, and that hurts anytime as the longer the game goes. And then Lawson got, 2 fouls in the first half. So I think Frank does a great job. I do, and I think I don't know if anybody's had a tougher year than he's had, and but it's just it is what it is. And like I said, the first half they made the shots. They still took the shots they had, and like I could tell you, last time we went out, we had wide open shots that we made in the first half. Second half, we couldn't make one, and that's just the game of basketball.
Coach, 54% shooting. That's the most you've scored in an SEC game this year, and now 80-plus points in 3 of the last 4 games. Do you feel like your team is turning the corner on offense, figuring things out?
If we don't turn the ball over, Rob, like we did, I mean, we had some really, really bad turnovers in the second half. And again, they have something to do with some of them, but some of them they don't, where we just, cutters and throwing the ball up, we're just uncatchable passes and trying, again, to scoop the ball in tight quarters, or Santi cut in, and Jaden saw it, but he just threw a bullet pass at him because Santi's got good hands. It's just a really hard pass. It's those things we got to clean up. Got to continue to get guys like he's got to become a big and even more of an aggressive rebounder and Folky. But we want to get out and go. We got to do that. It's important that we do that. And tonight they were mixing it up between man and zone, and we just kept going at them, and we were able to get some of those transition baskets. And we're no different than any team in the country, Rob. We need those baskets, and I think every team in the country needs them. They got some on us too because we didn't. Again, transition defense is a really tough defense to teach and get guys to execute, especially when there's some cross switching going on. But our point guard's got to understand that he's the man back, and he can't let anybody get behind. And we let that happen twice, I know for sure tonight, that I remember, and they scored out of it or got fouled.
We'll finish up with Gustavo, Jake Nichols, and Ryan Shumpert.
Coach, how do you see the performance of Eve and Folky? They were a little down Saturday, and tonight they came out strong. Both had double-digit points. What do you see from the performance of Eve and Folky tonight?
Well, we need them both to be aggressive. I mean, it's that simple. We need, and that's not just offensively. We need them to be aggressive defensively. We need them going after the rebounding for us. I mean, that's our part of our 2/3 of our front line most nights. And offensively, if they want to get involved, they're going to have to get involved. I can tell you this, they probably could have done a little bit more tonight if they wanted to do it without having to call sets and get them involved. That position in our offense has a lot of freedom, but you got to get yourself engaged, and you got to get yourself playing with some force.
Coach, given what we've seen from Jaden Springer and Keon lately, what's it like just to look down at that stat sheet and see just so many diverse sources of scoring tonight, and just what you were able to get from different ends?
Well, there's no doubt we're better when we have that diverse scoring that you talk about. And what we talk to those guys about is that, hey, yeah, we need them to score. But we actually said we need other guys to have that same kind of attitude. Hey, we're going to score. But we told those guys they're good enough not only to score, but get other guys some easy baskets. And that's why some of the passes they probably should have shot a couple tonight when they try to feed it in some tight spots. But when we get the diversity that you're talking about, I mean, it's hard to guard as a team. I mean, we know playing against teams that have that ability, it makes it really difficult to guard them.
Yeah, Coach, just how important and difficult is it to balance going fast and pushing the pace at all times with not getting too out of control like y'all did there for a few minutes in the second half?
It is, learning how to play fast. And to be quite honest with you, we have not gone up and down the floor since Saturday. And that was something we were concerned about because we thought we'd be short on numbers and we wanted to make sure we saved legs because now we got a quick turnaround Saturday. And so, some of that has to do with not, again, even though you do it, I still think, I don't care if you spend 6-7 minutes a day just playing that pace. It's important that they stay in that rhythm. And early in the game, I don't know if you noticed it, but guys were asking to come out 2 minutes into the game because it was a fast-paced game, which we knew it would be. They're the 10th fastest-paced team in the country with the pace they play with, and it was up and down. And as I mentioned, Jaden wasn't feeling great, but guys were asking to come out. And then they got their second win, which I thought was important. I really felt going in that we would struggle with that early just because, again, we hadn't gone up and down since Saturday because of the situation that we were in, knowing that we couldn't afford to get anybody hurt. And that can happen some when you start opening it up in practice. But overall, I'm proud of these guys for the preparation, the unknown. We didn't know until later today the situation right before shoot around, or a little bit before that, what the deal was. And so I'm just really proud of these guys being locked in and doing what they did.
Since we were waiting on players, Mike, I think you had one, so we'll go ahead and finish on that if you still got it.
Oh, of course. Rick, early on, there was a moment where I think Fulke sat down going to the timeout huddle. You just kind of flicked him away. What was he not doing well at that point, and what did he start doing well after that?
Well, he made an excuse on a guy. There's a certain way, when we're in a gap, we don't leave guys. And certain guys that shoot high percentage from the three. And the fact is, he just didn't do it. And he had made an excuse. And that's when I said, no, you know what you did. And he said, you're right, coach. And that's the stuff we want to see him do. There absolutely is no reason for those type breakdowns for a senior. There's no reason whatsoever. And if fatigue has something to do with it, again, I told him, you better come out of the game because we're not going to rest on defense. If we're going to rest, it's going to be on the offensive end, but we're not resting, and we're not going to give up simple scouting report, things that we need to do, that a no catch guy, we can't do that. And we did it twice to start the game. Santi did it once, he did it once, and those are the ones that you can't give up to good players that do that. But that's, again, took VJ out, coming out of a timeout late when he lost, and we had a really good standing, just turned around, started ball watching, and gave up threes, and we can't do that. There's too many guys in this league that can burn you if you give them just a step, a couple inches, and those are the ones that are frustrating because that's mental. And right now, I think this time of year, the mental preparation is really, really important as compared to the physical part of it. Like I said, physically, we should be able to not go up and down the floor and maybe struggle a little bit to start a game, but we settled in there. But we can't have those mental breakdowns on the defensive game plan.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.